Hello, welcome back to the Power Bank. Once again, this is teacher Jesse, and today I will be discussing with you another topic in math, which is all about the basic concepts of integers. In this instructional video, I will be discussing with you all about the number line. We have the opposites, the concepts of absolute value, and the applications of integers in real life. Okay, so before that, we'll have our drill first about percentage rate and base. What I want you to do is to solve for the missing value. Try to do it mentally. I will give you a few seconds to answer it, or you can pause the video if you need more time. Let's start. Number one, what is 20% of 80? Okay, so the correct answer is 16. How did we do it? It's just simply 8 times 2. We'll just remove this one to cancel out the percent sign. So the two zeros. So 8 times 2 is 16. Okay, number two, what is 30% of 40? Okay, so obviously it is 3 times 4, which is 12. Next, what is 60% of 50? Okay, it's 30, of course, 6 times 5. Number 4, what is 20% of 1,500? Okay, so 150 times 2 is 300. And what is 10% of 61? Okay, the correct answer is 6.1. You just move the decimal place one place to the left of this whole number 61. So the answer is 6.1. Did you get the correct answers? Okay, so let's proceed with our review. We have here the problem. Jasmine was able to read 90% of a 30-page article about COVID-19. How many pages did she read? Okay, so using the Tekan triangle, or by the way, you can pause this video if you want to answer this one, or even answer it mentally. Okay, in our previous lesson, we discussed about the Tekan triangle, and it is the P, R, and B, and they are separated by these lines. This represents division, and this represents multiplication, and you just fill in the Tekan triangle with this given information. We have the fact 90%. So 90% and 30. 30 is the base, of course, and 90% is the rate. So this is missing. So to solve for the percentage, they are separated. These two numbers are separated by multiplication symbol. So we need to multiply 0.9 times 30, which is 30 times 0.9 is 27.0, 27. Therefore, the correct answer is 27, or Jasmine was able to read 27 pages of the 30-page article. So it means only 3 pages were not read already by Jasmine. Okay, so this time we will continue with the basic concepts of integers. When we say integers, these are the set of positive numbers, negative numbers, and zero. So there are 3 basic concepts. We have the positive numbers, negative numbers, and the zero. Okay, positive integers are greater than 0. It has the sign of this plus sign. However, it may be written without a positive sign. Like for example, this one, positive 3, or if it has no positive sign, it means it is understood to be a positive. So positive 15, positive 1000, and positive 8. Negative integers are less than 0. So it is opposite to the positive integers. It has the sign of the sign minus sign are negative 8, negative 42, negative 300, and negative 9. Okay, so we need to emphasize this negative symbol in writing negative numbers. Unlike with the positive, that if you do not write any symbol, it means it is positive integer. 0 is the third one, which is the origin. It is neither positive nor negative. It means it has no value unless you say 0.1. So there is 0.1, and there is also negative 0.1, or positive 0.1, negative 0.1, because its value is not 0. Unlike with 0, 0 could not be positive or negative. So you cannot say positive 0 or negative 0. It is just 0. It is the origin. Okay, so we need to remember these concepts in this as we go on with our discussion in the next slides. Next is the applications of integers in real life situations. When do we apply or when do we use integers? Positive integers represent any growth, increase, or gain in a situation. So it is representing any growth, increase, additional gain, or etc. Like for example, a 5,000 deposit. When there is a deposit, means there is an additional. So if there is an additional, then it is positive 5,000. Okay? A 5-pound gain in weight. So you are trying, because of the pandemic, you eat much or eat a lot, then you gain 5 pounds. So that is positive 5. Next, an 800-meter elevation. So like for example, an airplane, as it ascends, there is an elevation of 800 meter. So it is positive 800. You can write without the positive sign. By the way, if you are going to express integers, you don't need to write these units. Like for example, 800m. Okay? These integers are merely the figures themselves. Okay, we have 10 steps forward. So forward is also represented or representing positive integer, 10 or positive 10. Next is 75 degrees Celsius above 0. So it is plus 75 or positive 75. On the other hand, negative integers represent any decrease or loss of a given situation. Okay, this is the opposite. Like for example, 5,000 withdrawal. Early on, I discussed with you on the previous slide, it was deposit. This time it's withdrawal. It is negative 5,000. Because when you withdraw your money, then it means you lose or you lose that money, particular money from your savings. You are going to spend it, okay, or invest it, then that is negative 5,000. Next is a 5-pound gain in loss. It should be a 5-pound loss in weight. So it is negative 5. We have 800 meter below sea level or negative 800. We have also 10 steps backward, which is negative 10, and 5 degrees Celsius below 0, that is negative 5. So means all of these are representing decrease or loss of a given situation. They are represented by negative integers. Next is the number line. So we need to learn about the concept of this number line so that we can visualize on how to compare or how to arrange integers from smallest or the least value to the greatest value. So in this number line, this is the origin, which is 0. It is the point of origin. Going to the right are the positive numbers. We have positive 1, positive 2, 3, 4, and positive 5. And since a number line has 2 endpoints in the opposite directions, it means it is extended indefinitely or infinitely to both opposite directions. It means it is positive 1, positive 2, positive 3, 4, 5, and so on, up to positive infinity. And we have also on the right side, we have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and negative 4, and so on, up to negative infinity. These are the negative integers. So these two, like we have negative 1 and we have 1, they are called the opposites. So we need to remember this one. It means negative 1 and positive 1 are opposites, or they are called additive inverse. In higher math, they are called additive inverse, or they are inverse. It means negative 2 and positive 2 are also opposites. Negative 3 and positive 3, and so on. Okay. Next is another concept that we need to learn is about the absolute value. Absolute value is represented by this symbol. It's like two vertical lines. The distance from 0. It means if we are dealing with absolute value, from here, from the origin, how many places or what is the distance? Like for example, the absolute value, if we are going to read this one as the absolute value of 5 is positive 5. It is always positive. There is no distance which is negative. Okay. So it means if it is positive 5, so we are going to count how many places? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is positive 5. Or in other words, just remove the negative sign. Like for example, the absolute value of negative 10. Just write or just give positive 10. Okay? Whichever or whatever is the sign, just change it into positive. That is the absolute value. That is the distance from 0. Okay, so what is the general concept of this number line? It means from 0 going to the right side of the number line to the positive infinity, as the integer goes to the right, its value becomes greater. Okay? Means 1 is greater than 0, 2 is greater than 1, 5 is greater than 4, or 1000 is greater than 0. Of course, we know that already. On vice versa, it means going to the left also, the value is the value becomes lesser. Like for example, this one, negative 1 is less than 0. Okay, this 0 is larger. Even if you say negative 1 million, that has a very small value compared to 0. So as the number, or as the negative number, the negative integer goes to the left side, approaches to the left side of the number line, its value also decreases. It's become lesser. Okay, so that is the point of this. So if you are going to compare negative 5 and 3, of course, negative 5 is lesser than 3. 3 is greater. However, if you are comparing large numbers, of course, you cannot, it is impossible to write it on or it may take a lot of time if you are going to draw the number line. So it means we need to understand the concept that the greater the absolute value of the number, and then if it is negative, it has lesser value. While the greater absolute value, but it is positive, it has a greater value. Okay? So that is the general concept on the use of the number line. So I guess that's all about the integers, about the basic concepts, the opposites, absolute values, and the application on the real life situation. This time we'll have exercises. I'll give you exercises so that you can enhance your skills on understand or your comprehension about integers. So we have activity 1, give the opposite of the following integers. I will give you time to think of your answer, or you can pause the video if you need more time. Start. Okay, so we have for number 1, it is obviously negative 9. The opposite of negative 72 is positive 72. 91 is negative 91. This is positive 108 and positive 16. Okay, did you get all correct answers? Okay, very good. We have activity number 2. Give the absolute value of the following integers. Start. Okay, so absolute value, as what I've said earlier, as what I've discussed, just take or just write these numbers with the positive sign. So this is 18, positive 18. It is 23, this is 1000, this is 611, and this is 79. Because absolute value is always positive. Did you get all 5 correct answers? Okay, very good. We have activity number 3. Compare the following integers using the relation symbols greater than, less than, or equal. Start. Okay, so time is up. So we have number 1, 50, and negative 50. Of course, 50 is greater. Okay. Next, negative 23 and negative 22. Negative 22 is greater because it is to the right side of the number line. 0 and negative 35. 0 is always greater than a negative integer. We have negative 61 and negative 65. Negative 61 is greater. And positive 79 and 79, they are just equal. Did you get all the correct answers? Okay, very good. And I guess this is the last activity. Activity number 4. Write an integer to represent the following situations. We have number 1, spending 500 pesos. Okay, so it is negative 500 because you spent it. Okay, number 2, going 3 kilometer upstream. Okay, it is positive 3. Next, 12 years from now. Okay, it is positive 12. 35-minute undertime. Okay, it is negative 35. And number 5, 90-kilometer north. Okay, north is upward, so it is, or forward, so it is positive 90. Okay, so I guess that's all for today's lesson. I hope that you have learned something new today, and please do not forget to share this video to others so that this can help also them, especially those learners who are struggling in math this pandemic due to COVID-19 and the suspension of the face-to-face classes. And please subscribe also to my channel so that you can be updated with the new videos that I'll be uploading. Thank you very much for watching. See you again.